Alright, we're continuing with more toys, another toy today. So today's project is one of these little stacking toys. I know my kids all had them when they were little and they loved them. I bet the kids in your dollhouse will too. So stay tuned and find out how to turn just a little bit of polymer clay and some wood pieces into this cute little stacking toy. Right, to get started, this is a really easy, fun project. We need a tile. I'm actually going to bake on a tile. I know I very seldom bake on a tile. And we need 2 craft sticks that are pretty flat to go on each side, one on each side here. And we'll need a cutter. This is about 1/4 inch. The shape really doesn't matter. We're using this to make portions of clay. And we need 6 colors of clay. We need red, yellow, and blue, and we also need green, orange, and purple. So of course, you know, if you don't have these 3, as long as you have these 3, you can mix. As long as you have those 6 colors, you're fine. You also need translucent clay because these are each 1 part color, 1 part translucent, because I didn't want the really heavy look. I wanted it to be a little bit lighter looking. We also have a bit of cornstarch for this step, or for a step coming up. I'm going to dip my cutter in the cornstarch just to get a little coat of cornstarch on there. Now my clay is all rolled on the number 3 setting on my pasta machine. And I played around with it. The goal was to cut 6 circles or shapes. Your shape doesn't matter what it is for. And this shape, it doesn't have to be round, it could be any shape. I just want to have portions because what I want is I want to have my discs to be graduating down in size evenly. So by using 6 for this, that will happen. Now I'm just rolling this into a nice ball. Try and get it as round as you can and just set it there. Now we go orange. The orange one we only need 5 of because that's the next layer up. 2. As you see, these are getting, by doing it this way, we know that each circle will be exactly the same amount smaller than the one that it's on top of. Come on, stick. My fingers are getting sticky. Next is yellow. In yellow we need 4. 2, 3. And I didn't put any cornstarch here because I want them to stick to there. You'll see why on our next step. Now I have green. Green I only need 3 of. Blue I only need 2 of. And purple, there's only 1. Now that's cut out that's all of our shapes that we'll be needing. That's all the clay we'll need for this project. I'll put this one right here. Now, I have another tile. This is just a small 4-inch square tile. You could use one this size. It doesn't matter, just so they're both fairly smooth tiles. This is actually a blush brush from the Dollar Tree. I like it for applying things like cornstarch because, like the eye makeup brushes, it's made for dusting on powders and it doesn't leave too much. Now, straight down and push hard and pop it off. Now they're all stuck to that tile. Now I'm using my double-ended knitting needle. I'm going to run it through the bristles on there. I'm going to put a hole. Now this hole is not to run the post up. It's actually to give, well, the top one is to give our little top a place to sit. But this allows my glue to actually go somewhere. I found when I tried to glue the flat discs together on my first one I made, that the glue actually made it stick apart. It didn't sit flat. So this is my remedy for that. Alright, poke the holes and put this back on it. And now bake this in your oven like you would any other clay. I have found with the newest batch of transparent clay or translucent clay I got, I need to lower the temperature down even more than the package says. I've been baking my translucent clays, anything with translucent in it, at 220 for about 10 minutes because any higher and they seem to be discoloring. The tile on top will keep them flat. And I have some here. Now I have a square of, this is just a jumbo craft stick. I cut a square piece of it. And I've got a little container here to put some glue on. And I'm using 527 cement. My 527 glue, if you've watched my videos, you know this is my favorite for gluing anytime I'm gluing clay stuff. Now, I'm going to use a toothpick and put just a dab of glue in the middle, starting with our biggest shape. Actually put glue on the bottom of the orange one. And I'm hoping that by having that hole there, I'll do just enough glue to hold this together and the excess will kind of drip down and not make it bulge. Because it really is noticeable on the first one I did, where I didn't have the holes. And just glue this together. Kind of keep an eye on it from top and at the sides. You want to keep getting these lined up. Now if your circles were really round when you put that tile on them and you put your tile straight down, these little discs should be pretty round. You may have to, and I would recommend that if you really want to have a nice one, do a couple of each color, and then you can pick and choose which are the best. Do some extras. It doesn't take much clay. Now our purple. Make sure the good side, the best side looking side of your purple one is up, because that's going to show. Just about don't have enough glue. In fact, I will need more glue. I'll have to straighten this up when I go. Now our top is actually one of these fancy toothpicks. It's just the very top. I cut, first I sanded the end because these are always kind of rough and ragged. So I sanded the end and then I cut those off, and I need more glue. And now make sure that you dip in the end where the cut end that you cut off, because that's not going to be really straight probably and really nice. So that's the end. It will kind of fit into that little hole. And there you go. It's a stacking toy for the babies or the toddlers in your dollhouse. I hope you had fun with this, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.